Cheers, and welcome to the NooK on the Voluntary Virtues Network. I'm Steve. I'm here today with Mike.
Yo.
Christy. Pamela's making her debut.
Yay!
Cheers.
Matt.
Cheers.
And John.
Howdy.
And I am not going to be talking about a beer today. I've decided that I need to improve my health a little bit. So that includes giving up drinking beer for a little while. So I'm drinking some ginger tea. But Matt's drinking beer.
I am drinking beer tonight. It's AleSmith's .394. It's the batting average of Tony Gwynn, I believe. 94, I think, was the year. It says on the back here. I believe that was it. Actually, anyway, yeah, it's a good beer. I really like it. It's well-balanced, AleSmith. Good job, guys.
It's a pale ale, right?
It's a pale ale at 6%. It's very clear. I actually haven't poured it in a glass, so I couldn't tell you the color of it, but I'm assuming it's pale from how clear it is. And the name, I'll give him that. I think it said that he helped design this or requested some recipe. I don't know. I may be butchering this. I know somebody else told me about it and recommended it, so it's very good. It was given to me by Ian. Thank you, Ian.
Is it Oceanside AleSmith?
San Diego.
Oh, okay.
San Diego AleSmith Brewery. AleSmith Brewing Company. San Diego style pale ale.
Makes sense if it's Tony Gwynn beer.
That does make sense, right?
John, what are you drinking?
Well, no surprises to the present company and those who may have watched before, but Synergy, Gingerberry, Kombucha is my fermented beverage of choice tonight.
What flavor was it?
Gingerberry, so it's a little gingery, fruity.
Interesting.
But Master Brew Kombucha, their ginger is out of the park. They don't have it where I shop today, so.
Why?
What are you drinking, Pamela?
Gone back to an old favorite, Stella Artois.
Mm-hmm. Right on.
Stella Artois,
It's Belgian.
kind of like a menage
So-
trois.
Yes, but in a glass.
Similar. Well, things may result from drinking too much of it that could result, one thing may lead to another.
Okay.
It's owned by InBev.
And I've got a Isogenics Ionics. It has full of what? Good stuff in it.
I thought you only drink that at night or in the morning.
I'm drinking it at night.
Okay.
I do it
I
all.
don't know.
Because it's morning somewhere.
Her day starts at 9.
Fine morning.
I don't know. I just started this, so.
And I've got coconut water because I got in an argument with gravity and the earth. So I'm coconut water tonight. Yeah, that's fun.
Cheers.
It's pretty
I
damn
can
good.
envision that.
Yeah,
At
that's
least,
what happened.
at least you had fun, though.
Yeah, I do. Well, I don't
At least
remember.
you
That's the
appeared-
problem.
You
So.
appeared, okay, you appeared to be having fun.
Thank you. I agree. I'm glad I know I was having fun. Yeah.
At least your body had fun.
And the best part is a fight with the ground, not someone else. See, that's the key
That
thing.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Non-violent.
Yeah.
Right.
You ever seen that movie Back to the Future 3?
No.
That's what happened?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what happened. Woo.
Fun times.
Wish I was there.
You gotta attend more bacon parties.
I forgot to ask if there was video
Oh,
of
the
it.
That's right.
bacon party. I didn't
Parties.
go.
Yes.
Bacon pie.
If you've never been to a bacon party, go to one.
If your friends
you are not
don't
in the
host
San Diego-
bacon parties.
They're no friends of yours.
If you don't
No,
have
I was
seriously.
going to say they should host bacon parties. I don't know.
Okay, maybe I went a little overboard.
Find new friends.
Maybe I went a little
That's
overboard.
horrible also.
If your friends don't host bacon parties, then do it yourself.
There we go.
They are
Take
a lot
initiative. Yes.
of fun.
Yeah.
Topic?
So, Matt,
Yes.
what do you think? Are there any good cops?
Oh man, Steve's put me on the spot. Steve,
That's what I do.
That's what I do.
the topic tonight is cops, discussing cops. I'd like to start off with the whole federalization of the police force that I've heard.
Oh,
has been proposed.
yeah. What
Yes.
the hell is up with that?
So, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, you guys can go ahead. You guys both sound like you had good opinions on this.
No, I concur. Like today, I don't do the news often, but today I did turn it on. Where was I? We saw it was on somewhere. Cora and I were. Anyway, yeah, exactly. It was talking about Ferguson and systemic racism, something of that nature. And I thought, wow, what an opportune time to run this story when
Right after
the White House
proposal.
is making a push for federal encroachment of law enforcement, and when they could blame it on those racist municipal departments that need to be regulated from the big boys. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's exactly
And-
what
What
it
are they
seems
doing?
like.
I don't watch the news, so what are
so-
they doing?
So, but when I develop that further, right? So, like, let's just say it is federalized, so it becomes like the Stasi, where like you could have somebody from another portion of the country moved in here, right? So they're divorced from any sense of community or whatever. It becomes easier for them to, just
Shoot,
Easier.
I didn't-
easier than it
clinical.
already is. Yeah.
I didn't even think about that aspect.
It's a
Yeah.
huge
So-
aspect. I mean, look how many dictators did that.
Yeah.
I know it's not a new move when it comes
Right,
to
yeah, it's
state.
nothing new, but I mean, that's the mechanics of it, right? We're going to nationalize.
William the Conqueror did that in 1066 BC AD, so
See?
So they're just recycling their tactics.
Old
Well,
statist tactics.
Yeah.
You know, state is going to
But
stay.
these are usually the tactics they're using toward the end of regimes,
Well,
and when things are getting hairy.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, they're going after the internet.
yeah.
Right.
They're going after, like, I'm hearing about an ammo ban. There's a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah,
of
I
stuff
did-
really seems to be going down.
So what did
lately.
they do with the police force? I didn't
They're-
hear. What did they do?
Executive
Obama's
order.
saying he wants to federalize police forces, basically.
Dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun.
federalize
Say
local.
Gestapo.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I was thinking
That's-
redcoats myself,
Brown
but same
shirts.
thing, right?
That was recently, within the last few days.
Yeah.
Because today is 24 years ago, Rodney King incident. He was
Wow,
pulled over
really?
for a random
Oh
traffic
my
stop.
Huh.
Yeah.
The day this
March
was
3rd,
filmed, not the day it was on
1991.
YouTube.
Right.
We're scheduled because that's how it works on this channel. It's cool though. I like the concept.
Yeah.
Lots of content.
In the last week, it has been, or 2 weeks, whatever, it does seem like there's been a lot of like push for new federal encroachment. Like you said, ammo, police.
Secret president in Chicago. Secret president. I have to mention that.
Chicago.
Yeah, I can't forget that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Taxation
Yeah.
through executive order.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Is
Yeah.
another one.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
definitely
Wait,
seems-
wait. What's this?
Yeah.
You hear about this one?
Just that one's new. I heard.
Yeah,
yeah. They're looking
he's
into it.
seriously considering
Yes.
Taxation through executive order.
He's
What
trying
does
to.
that mean?
He's trying to see if he
Like
can do
basically
it.
taxing
Yeah.
people by
he
the
can
order
increase.
of a pen of the
Yeah.
president.
Yeah.
And that came. That
fuck.
came. That came from
Bad thing.
his press secretary,
Yeah.
right? So it's. I
Yeah.
mean, so like
He
it's.
said he's very interested in it.
When do we start busting out our brown coats?
No, he said.
Fair enough.
I
What's
think
the brown coats?
Nazi Germany.
Firefly.
Firefly, yeah.
The
Okay.
Sturm.
I was actually thinking Firefly, not history, but
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
in Firefly, the rebels were called brown coats because they wore brown coats.
Oh, so you're thinking the opposite. I see.
The rebels.
And I was thinking of the name escapes me, the German name, the Sturmstag or whatever, the SS, not the SS, but the brown coats.
Brown shirts, something like that, or was that Italy? I don't.
No,
can't
no,
remember.
it's
It was-
Hitler,
The
yeah.
Nazis.
There's I can't think of the German name. Anyway.
So going back to, are there any good cops?
Oh.
Yeah. We were talking about this a little bit before the pod, before the show, and I think you had a really good point. You think you could say everything you said to me earlier?
You're not supposed to talk about it
Verbatim.
before.
Verbatim. Remember.
In a nutshell, my daughter and I pulled into a pharmacy parking lot today and saw what was clearly, working class man of dark colored skin pigment, and he was emptying out his car, which had nothing but clearly working tools, extension cords, tile saw, things of this nature. 2 police officers were there, and so my daughter asked me, "What are you doing, Daddy?" I said, "I'm watching them, make sure they don't beat this guy up." You know, right?
Fair enough.
I had my
Yeah.
phone ready, but I made the comment to Steve that in hindsight, I wished I would have just had it up on the dashboard and let them know that I was filming just so that it was known.
Did they do anything to him?
No, he looked at me and he knew I was waiting, but I don't think he put two and two together, whatever. Until after the fact, when the wrecker showed up and the guy had all his work tools on the, in the parking lot, and I went up to him and I asked him if he had someone picking him up, and to which he said he had someone coming. So I didn't.
We were waiting for that to happen.
So I didn't feel the need. I didn't feel the need to.
Maybe you can
He's
stick a
coming in
log.
to save the day. He's got the gloves.
Don't let me disrupt the show.
Thank you.
There you go.
This is our fancy rocket fire.
Another one over there.
So, am I understanding he was there because his car was being towed, so he was taking
Well,
his tools
okay,
out
so-
because he would need them?
Ultimately, I don't know what.
Why were the cops there?
I don't know what led to this, but when I went up to him, I went between the cops and went and started a conversation with a guy. When I asked him if he needed a ride home, he's like, "Yeah, no, I'm good." He's like, "The car was impounded. It's worth $900. I had a $1,600 bill, and basically they want the balance. If the car's only worth $900, they want the balance or whatever." I don't know how he got the car out and what led to it being impounded, but essentially it was, shaking down a working man. You know what I mean, right?
The cops are there supporting the towing company, or
This is Escondido?
Yeah, they're just
They're-
marching. They're marching
they're
orders.
doing their job.
Yeah,
They're
right.
shaking.
Escondido?
Essentially, they're just to shake the guy down.
It's a racket,
Is this Escondido?
Yeah.
What
This
are
is,
you talking
yeah,
about?
exactly. Yeah.
Oh man, if you're talking about Escondido police and the towing companies, there's a relationship right there.
Yeah, I remember.
And you can find all the information on our website, Natural Rights Coalition.
.org. Yeah, they have a long history. I mean, Escondido at one point wanted to start their own tow company, obviously
Wow.
because their whole extortion racket was working so well for them. I mean, that's what the whole checkpoints are all about, and that's all that stuff all relates to extortion money through towing and impound fees.
Of course, our work protesting the checkpoints and the checkpoint text messages has really eaten into their ability to steal cars.
Yes.
I got some pretty interesting looks from them when, this gray-haired white guy getting out of a white European wagon goes over and, violates my station to go and see how this brown working man was, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was a good conversation. That was interesting.
But the city having their little cut of like the tow fee and all that. I mean, a lot of cities do that. But yeah, I mean, definitely Escondido does that. I remember.
Oh, the city has a cut of the toll.
Yeah,
They paid them
yeah.
$400,000 or so.
Yep.
The tow companies give for the contracts for the checkpoints.
Yeah, and it'll say it right at the tow yard when you take it out too. It'll say like what all the fees go to, and it'll say
Yeah,
like
as a
whatever
matter of
amount
fact,
goes
if
to
you
the
get
city.
your car towed by Escondido Police Department, it's a different fee, a different price than if you get it towed by the sheriffs.
Mm.
You got some sort of deal.
and why is that?
I know.
Because of the deal they have with the.
Yeah, it's like
Cause
it's the close there.
Just because, okay.
It's a
I
different
understand
extortion
that.
fee.
I remember, this is Florida, but I wrecked a car and I was told by another guy who just came up to see how I was doing. He's like, the record was already there, and it was the one on rotation for Florida Highway, but for the contract, and their fees were higher than if I just waited for someone who wasn't on contract. Sort of like whether you're paying for, you go to the auto body shop. Are you insured or not? And they give you the insured price, which is way higher than, say, if you're going to pay a cash deal, right? So it's kind of a similar
Profit.
situation.
I got my truck towed. It broke down in Valley Center, actually, once. And before I could get back to it, they had towed it. And when I went to pick it up at the tow yard, they had a little chart and they're like, okay, it was Valley, I don't remember who towed it, but it was like, they looked at all the different, they had a list of agencies and a list of prices
Oh, wow.
based on who made the call to have the vehicle towed.
Yeah.
I think the main moral issue behind police, though, is that it's immorally funded, as most government problems are.
I think that's the most fundamental issue.
Yeah, the most. No, maybe
But
not
I
the main
think
issue.
there's something to be said, and I think you mentioned this earlier about when you're taking orders, you're essentially farming out your decision making to another entity, and therefore nothing you can do can be moral.
Concur. And further, they'll almost always say, I'm just enforcing the law, I'm doing my job.
My job.
Well, that didn't work for the Nazis in the Nuremberg
Mhm.
trials, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's
the
like,
Nuremberg excuse.
Oh, we
yeah.
should remind him of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not going to work for you.
Oxbrocken.
It's not
Is
enough
that how
to-
you-
yeah.
is that what it is? Oxbrocken? Or?
Amtsprache.
Amtsprachen.
It's of course immoral for anybody to commit an immoral act by taking an order and doing so. Just like it is perfectly moral to disobey an immoral law. If there's a law that's immoral, it is perfectly moral to disobey that law.
And Jefferson would say you're obligated to, actually.
Yeah.
If you want to go, if you want to.
Doesn't mean you're not going to get
I don't-
locked
yeah,
up. But
I don't- I wouldn't go so far as to say you're obligated, because if there's a law that says you will drink at least one glass of water a day,
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. I think I understand where he's going with it, but I understand what you're saying. To be like, well, if there was a law to that.
If
does
it's
seem
something
kinda
you're going to
silly.
do anyway,
Yeah.
But
Don't
I guess the point is
not
if,
do it just because it's...
Yeah.
if there's
I agree.
if there's an immoral if the government there's a law that forces you to do something immoral, I think that may be a case where you should definitely disobey that.
And you're saying earlier about farming out your decision making to somebody else, but just by saying you're taking orders. I mean, for so much of it, it's not even you're farming your decision making out to somebody else. You're almost just doing it to a piece of paper that has words on it. Well, the code says I'm supposed to do this. This person's obviously broke and has their rearview mirror taped on with duct tape, but I have to take their car and therefore make them lose their job. So yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I do have a question for you though, Matt. Because you said following an unjust order obviously would be immoral. Could there be a good cop though that only enforced the just laws, so to speak? I guess you couldn't even say that there's just laws though, because even if you arrest a murderer, let's say, the punishment is obviously not befitting the crime.
So I think the problem for this would be, like we talked about earlier, first of all, the basis of how it is funded is immoral, so that's one big issue.
Sure.
But the act of, say you're talking about specifically defending somebody from harm, I can't say that you're doing something wrong when you're doing something like that. But I look at police just like I look at anybody else. If you're committing an immoral act for whatever reason, if you're harming somebody else, that's immoral. If you're helping somebody else, that act is completely moral. But getting your funding through taxation, that's not right. But so depending on what action you're talking about,
Is it moral for you to do something morally good, if you could say that exists, if you're told to do it though? Are you moral for following that order?
if it's
Because I wouldn't say you are. You're
I wouldn't say
just
that's-
following orders.
Right, I
So
wouldn't
there's
say
no
that's-
morality for you.
I wouldn't
involved.
say that it's necessarily you, because it's the action of somebody else that you're carrying out. The action can still be moral, but it may not be your action. Just like the action, if the order was immoral, that action could be immoral, even if it's not yours. You're just carrying it out for somebody else.
You don't bear the ultimate. See, in that case, the person who carries out the immoral order bears the ultimate responsibility
Yeah.
for the action, right? So
Yeah, totally agree.
Adolf
Yeah,
Hitler
completely, yeah.
couldn't have killed a single Jew
If somebody didn't
if
listen
he didn't
to
have a
him,
bunch
yeah.
of order followers
Mhm.
to do it for him, as
Mhm.
an example. I mean, unless he actually did it himself, but that's a different story.
Yeah, like I mean,
So-
I think when I've
There's no way you could have killed 6 million or
Exactly,
11
the
million
numbers
people.
do it. Yeah, right. Maybe he could have done 1,000, 1,500. I don't know.
the interactions I've had with law enforcement, I don't sit there and I'm not, if I'm talking to the person with a badge and all that, I don't sit there and go, damn you, governor. I don't care about that. There is an individual telling me that unless I do this, he's going to do this, or this is going to happen to me, and that's
You got to have empathy in that
Yeah,
situation.
yeah.
You got to put it in their shoes
Mhm.
and say, hey, this guy's in a hard position. He makes his money through this. Like,
Mhm.
he may at this point he may just be doing it for the money. There's a lot of different circumstances, and you have to give humans. I don't know. People make mistakes, but you got to deal with people empathetically. You got to
yeah.
be.
Never
I
good
think
to
that
have
even
hate,
applies
I
to cops
suppose.
and other
Oh, absolutely.
other thugs too. It may not work every time, but dealing with them empathetically will definitely help you more than it'll hurt you.
It's interesting how over time it's getting better, but
And they'll often go away thinking that, or with something to think about. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
no, but it's getting better in a sense that early in the days when people were filming cops, the cops would just outright bully them and tell them they couldn't film them, right? And now you've got lots of film of police officers, completely accepting of the camera, and I'm sure that's because a lot of cops have had their asses handed to them when they get
Got
back.
sued
Right,
and- yeah,
absolutely, right.
yeah.
So, not to make a case of them being moral or immoral, this or that, and just saying that at least in that respect, things are getting better because more and more people are filming them.
This should definitely be said. Film the police.
Yeah.
Film the
police.
Right.
You know, you
Interaction.
mentioned something interesting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The video we've all seen about putting your documentation in a Ziploc and hanging it
Oh,
outside
yeah.
your window.
Yeah.
You
Right.
asked if I would
Yeah.
do that. So, any of you, would you be willing to do that?
I've had them
I-
give
Going
me
through
a
a
hard
checkpoint?
time for
Yeah, I
not
heard-
rolling down
yeah.
a window.
Did you have your documentation in the bag outside the window for them to access?
No, I did not try that specifically.
Mm.
But there's a video from Escondido of Daniel Alfaro is his name. They broke his window. Well, they said a few words to him. They ordered him to roll the window down. They refused, and they pretty much broke their window within.
Yeah, I remember
within a
seeing
minute.
that. Yeah, it's pretty
But
bad.
he also said something. He egged
They-
it on a little bit, right? It didn't even break my window.
Yeah, he
We
said
were
something
doing-
like, go ahead.
We were
and
doing the
something like
checkpoint.
that.
We were doing the checkpoint protest at that time, and I really wish I would have known about this.
Yeah,
So we could have recorded the whole.
and maybe coached him a little bit
Yeah.
before he went through with it.
But I had something similar, so I understand. They didn't break my window though, so
So I don't think the other guy in the car with him even knew really what to do
yeah, it was.
based on the
it was.
video.
It's something that I'm sure isn't easy to prepare for. It's, I'm sure nobody really breathes a sigh of release when they have a cop following them.
Right.
Yeah.
Ask anybody. I don't care how clean you are. There's so many laws out there that you're breaking one of them.
What did you
And definitely not a good idea to provoke somebody who has aggressive tendencies and has weapons on them.
And will get
it's
away with
just-
murdering you.
Yeah, so don't sit there and start egging them on because they might just do exactly what you say.
Well, it's all about peaceful interaction anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Wouldn't that be
They've
nice?
been programmed. The program they're running right now is basically us versus them, right?
Yeah.
It's like everything's about their safety. Or you can even see cars used to have say protect and serve on them, but it's been gone to the highest court in the land, and the court said that there's no obligation for the police to protect, right? So then why are we funding, these municipal police departments or otherwise? But yeah. Anyway, it's
Or not, they're stealing money
Yeah.
from us.
Right,
and-
right.
And-
But that should be the question to
Why
to
are
people
we
who
funding
Well,
still
I mean, look at California,
willfully-
for instance.
Yeah.
They don't allow you to carry a means of self-defense, like a legitimate means of self-defense, such as a firearm.
Or a knife has to be under, like, what is it, 4
Yeah.
inches
4
or something
inches.
like that, you know?
So I mean, it's real easy when they put all the competition out of business, right?
But you mentioned the court case about what they have to do. It was specifically there's one for actually almost every state in the union of pretty much saying the same thing. But the one specifically in California is Souza versus the city of Antioch. And what the judge actually says is that the police are not legally obligated to do anything, quote unquote. They are not legally obligated to do anything. So that's the thing I always remember about them. I'm like, not a damn thing. Okay, all right.
So
Well, what I find interesting too, and this is just a little bit off topic, but Wes was here last week,
Right.
and when he still lived here, he'd gotten a ticket for running a stop sign.
right.
I actually got the ticket for the stop sign he didn't run, but went to court. And while in court, and this is all on this is all recorded and on the internet.
The judge.
He asked the judge, "How is this different from extortion?" And the judge says, "I don't know. Maybe I am extorting you."
Every now and then they're honest, right?
Just like the
Yeah, that was a
incident.
good engagement because
Yeah.
the judge was entertaining the line in the victory,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
there was a good dialogue that was recorded. It's pretty good.
I didn't. That's you can listen to that somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
legit. I want to hear that.
I'll see if I can find it for you.
Sounds good.
What if we just ended a monopoly on force?
That would be awesome.
Well,
In short, that would be awesome.
That's the
does
goal,
tie-
right?
Yeah, this does
Well,
tie into the
I think the ultimate goal is to have no force.
Yeah,
But-
absolutely. Peaceful interaction.
I don't know if that will ever be actually accomplished.
we should probably speak to.
But yeah, definitely stopping the monopoly on force is goal number one.
So that speaks to like what we should probably talk about long term. The idea of there not being municipal police in the sense that we have now, and it would be everything would be private. You have security for just piece of property, and you could have investigative services. A private eye, something like that. So technically, the police as we know it isn't necessary. It's the model that we're
Yeah.
all used to isn't even
I mean, you could even.
essential. There's nothing that can't be done
I
privately.
think self-defense is another big thing.
Yeah.
I mean, with everybody having different technology, you could have.
Video cameras.
I mean, at some point, I'm sure there's going to be some wearable technology with a camera on it.
Google
if you-
Glasses.
Well, I mean, something that I don't know exactly what it'll be, but something that you could, instead of, if you do have some sort of altercation, you could refer, hey, I have a video of it,
Mhm.
And I'm sure I would want something like that to be encrypted and handled, by me, and I would be the one who could, enter that in evidence and everything. But I think that, I don't know, it'd be nice to have better means of self-defense. But I do think that peaceful interaction is ultimately the goal. I mean, is the goal now, really, is handle things as peacefully as possible.
Yeah, how can we stay out of altercations?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no reason for violence.
Yeah.
With all the technology and all the ideas we've come up with over all of human history, I think we're past that.
But it's an
We should be,
educational
at least.
process, though.
Yeah.
Even with, those who believe that they are good communicators, it's still an educational process to actually thwart
Mhm.
something. And it's just, we're not there yet, I don't think, as a communication culture.
So if we had a society to where like there's,
I'm not there yet.
there's-
So.
I'm not there yet.
if we have a society to where there's like just the private security, right? And if they were to like go around a corner and somebody was having sex with like a robot, would that like how that situation be
Is
handled?
banned in this society?
Well, I mean,
or-
I don't think
First
so.
of all,
Is
homosexuality should
prostitution
be completely
illegal
legal.
in this society?
And how do you pay the robot prostitute? Wait, now that's getting confusing.
Well, and
Are
it's
there
like
Credit card's
cops?
not.
public nudity. Public nudity, cool, not
The-
cool for
the
robots.
robots
I
would be
don't know.
programmed with like a pleasure program in it, so the
Right.
payment is
Uh,
copulating with the robot, right?
Okay, all right. This is getting complicated, but I can maybe
Oh,
see
no,
how-
oh,
The
no.
timer, guys.
No,
Oh,
okay.
and we're out of
Next week, or maybe
All
next
right.
week. I don't want to promise that.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.